Parameterized content is a great way to give users access to the information that is most relevant for them. Sometimes, however, you may want to make multiple different files available for selection, such as when they use different data sources, show different fields, or use different styling. You can do that by creating a control that lists procedures or HTML files, and then using the run procedures/HTML from control request option. Let's say we have a selection of charts, reports, and HTML pages that we want to be available to run in an HTML page. We can make these available for selection from a control using either a static list, where we supply each value manually, or a dynamic list, where we pull the list of files from a data source. First, let's show how to create a static list of accessible content. Create a control on the page, select it, and open the Settings panel. Use the static data type and select the Values are procedures/HTML files checkbox. To add values to the control, click the New button. In the Open File dialog box, select the files that you want to be available for selection, and then click OK. The values are added to the list in the Settings panel. You can change the display value for each one to supply a different name for the control. You can also show the file names in a dynamic list. A dynamic list pulls values automatically from a data source. In this case, we've added the qualified file names and display values to separate columns in a delimited flat file. First, we'll upload the file to the reporting server to use it as a data source by selecting the Upload Data option on the Home tab. We'll select the file type and then navigate to the file that contains our list of items. Once we've confirmed that the correct columns and values show up, we'll load it to our environment to create a master file. Once we've uploaded our list of procedures and HTML pages, let's return to the HTML page to bring the list into a control. Create the control, select it, and open the Settings panel. In the Settings panel, select the Dynamic data type. Click the ellipsis button next to the Data Source menu, and select the data source containing the file names. For the value from, which contains the values that are actually executed, we will use the list of file names from the new data source. The new data source also includes a column containing display names. We will set that column as the display from value. Finally, select the Values are procedures/HTML files checkbox. This indicates that the control doesn't contain parameter values, but instead contains file names. Now that our controls are set up, we can create tasks to execute the values selected in them. First, create a button or other object to trigger the execution of the selected file. Open the Tasks and Animations panel and create a new task. We'll use the Click trigger type and set the button that we just created as the trigger identifier. In the Requests and Actions section, add a new request. Point to the Run Procedures/HTML from Control option and select the control containing the HTML pages and procedures that you want to run. Finally, in the Target Type menu, select the location where you want the selected item to run. In this case, we'll run the selected item in a new window. When you run the page, you can select an item from the control and run it on demand, providing access to many different pages and procedures from a single HTML page. To learn more, visit the WebFocus 8205 knowledge base, where you can search all technical topics and videos.